The other day, I was doing a reading for somebody, and immediately my attention went to the center of my forehead. And the image that came through was light. A head full of light. And it was a really beautiful image. And since my readings tend to focus on, it's in the realm of medical intuition, it generally focuses on, you could say, negative aspects or karmic knots. So that was surprising that something so nice came through immediately. In this case, I believe I was being directed there because it was a point of tension. And I asked the person I was reading if she has headaches on that spot there, and she said yes, right there in the center of her forehead, a little bit below the center of her forehead, between the eyebrows. And furthermore, she said right before the session, she had just came from a Kundalini yoga session. And that's very beautiful to me. In way of synchronicity, in preparing for this talk, I was thumbing through Arnold Mindell's book, Dream Body, which I've been kind of thumbing through recently in order to jog my consciousness for material for these talks, jog my mind for material for these talks. And immediately I opened up on a page about the chakras, and what I saw was the words, the ajna, which is the point between the brows, is the point where time and timelessness come together. Time and timelessness. That field of light that I saw is something I see all the time in my life. It's kind of my permanent reality. Not kind of, it is. And that's a function of purity of senses. It is very much like the William Blake quote, when the doors of perception are cleansed, things are seen as they are, infinite. Which really gets to the heart of the matter. But I will say that an image of light in the mind's eye is an image. It's not the infinite. It's the infinite only insofar as anything is the infinite. A piece of gum on the bottom of my shoe is also the infinite. The concept of it as well as the image of it. So I just wanted to add that there. But the sense of the infinite that comes from purity of senses, that is the Tao that cannot be talked about. The Tao that can be talked about is not the Tao. In any case, where time and timelessness come together, the ajna. Yes, yes. Time. Images are bound by time. They arise and pass. So the fact that I was seeing these things, to get back to the reading, the fact that I was seeing this light, this field of light, this ocean of light, this glittering ocean of light, I wonder what that says about the value of spiritual practice. I myself have I've had a journey with that. Early in life, I thought yogic practice was the be all end all and the path to liberation. But after a while, I wasn't it didn't feel like that was the case. People in the non-duality world, and I don't know as much about Advaita Vedanta as I'd like, but presumably that world, not really, because there's a kind of, it's a very Indian thing of gurus, etc. in that world, right? And visualization of gods, right? So I'm not going to speak to that, but in kind of the non-duality world, same in India, like Ramana Maharishi, they don't do yogic practices, body-based practices, as far as I know. Ramana's practice, he only had one practice, right? Who am I? Ask, who am I? Constantly, all through the day, in sleep, who am I? Who am I? And so I stopped doing yoga for a long time, right? And I did these non-duality practices. I wanted to row out to the farthest reaches of the universe and fall off the edge. And frankly, that did happen. So what is and that was freedom. So what is the value of these yogic practices? I'm very compelled by the fact that I see that I've seen this before, obviously, but I find it compelling that I can see this in someone's energetic field. Of course, the non-duality people would say this is all about having a better experience, a better human experience, and liberation, non-duality is not about that. It can all be true. Life is far more than is dreamt up in any philosophy. And that makes the mind go crazy. At least for me. I can't speak to other people. The experiences of other people. I want to know, but that itself is the folly of the mind. Conceivably, these things like Kundalini yoga create clarity of mind and a level of purification where that tiny door of nibbana can be opened and walked through. Without it, it's all obfuscated. Through day-to-day concerns and distractions, attractions and repulsions. To be honest, that sounds about right. But it seems like such practices are not necessary. I know someone who had stream entry because he was so sideways with grief over losing a loved one. It's like he was propelled off the edge of the earth and fell off.